Hey, beautiful people, you're still watching, Sunrise at Sea. My name is Priva Elibaz. It's about 35 minutes past 8 in the morning. Yes, we have a fantastic conversation that we're going to be having this day on our views. But before I actually get into it, I just have to put it out there that, this particular conversation is very slippery, yes? Very slippery. People tend to avoid it, but we can all agree, at least I'm sure that ladies agree with me that, this is a very much needed conversation. So basically today on our views, we're going to be fixing the nation. And joining me at the center of this conversation are the ladies, Agi Wase and Shivan Auma. Hey guys.
Fix the nation.
I love the fact that you said we are fixing the nation.
Today on our views, we have to fix the nation. I'm sure you have come across this video on Twitter by now. Actually, I think it has amassed about 6.6 million views in just a little over 48 hours. And yeah, basically out there, if you're out there and you're wondering, what you're talking about, a certain gentleman found it fit or deemed it fit to step out on his wife for so many years. And the kids found out about this and they confronted him in their living room in the presence of their mother. These were 3 daughters, dissatisfied with the actions of their mother, so I beg your pardon, of their father. And they did confront him. So many reactions were up there on social media, and actually wish we had like a man seated on this panel. But I think we can all agree that based on the comments we saw on that particular video, we know how the men feel.
Yes.
If it wasn't defending their fellow, they were directing the anger to the children. Yes, so basically today, let's get into cheating. Let's talk about cheating, ladies. Basically, cheating is a violation. Let me put it this way: infidelity. Infidelity is a violation of a prior agreement made between partners regarding their sexual or emotional exclusivity. Sometimes you be in not so exclusive relationships, but if you're in a very exclusive relationship, you will be violated if your partner engages in any sort of infidelity. Now, we have to be clear. Some people consider infidelity in different terms. What may appear as infidelity to you could be different from someone else. Like I mentioned earlier on. Actually, let me give an example. Basically, like watching pornography. Yes, someone might see it as cheating. While to someone else, it's like, I don't care. It's okay. Like, I don't see how that, affects us. But, someone else might also consider emotional cheating as, infidelity that, has crossed all sorts of lines and they cannot even, forgive their partner. But when you look at the different types of infidelity, number one, we have the physical infidelity. Now, this particular one involves physical or sexual connection outside the relationship. And there may or may not be an emotional component between the partners. Sometimes people cheat just for the sake of cheating, just to get it out of their system. There are no emotions attached whatsoever. Then the other second type of infidelity we have is emotional infidelity, which is basically the emotional attachment or intimacy with another person. And the emotional affairs can do so much damage, if not to more a relationship as a physical affair. Then we have cyber infidelity. Well, we know social media has made it easier for people to engage in online messages, the chats, the forums, the groups with sexual content. So cyber infidelity can also include viewing erotic stimuli, such as cheating via pornography. So that's what qualifies as cyber infidelity. Then we have object infidelity. This is an obsession or interest outside of a relationship that can result in what is known as an object affair. This is a situation where one partner is more focused on something such as work or their phone, which causes a distraction from the relationship. Then we have financial infidelity. Now, money can be a point of contention for many relationships. I know Agi will agree. And it progresses to the point of financial infidelity. Now, one partner may be deceitful about how much money they earn, or how their money is being spent, how much they owe, or how they even loan out any money. Now, they may even have money hidden away in cash and other bank accounts that their partner doesn't know about. So I'm sure you probably didn't even know there's something we call financial infidelity. Then we have micro-cheating. This is a term for actions that bother the partner, such as flirting. Sometimes some of you over flirt and you cross the line, and that also can be classified as as micro-cheating. Then we have the combined infidelity. Now, in this one, when the infidelity includes more than one type, it could manifest in elements of both sexual and emotional intimacies. Now, a cyber affair may also be considered a form of emotional infidelity. So I think now we all know the angles we're going to attack this particular conversation.
All angles.
Yes. But before actually get into the first question, I want to get your sentiments on the video that we just talked about.
My sentiments, one, when I came across that particular video, every time I was watching it, I was in shock. I remember the first time I watched it, I was actually seated next to you, and I just could not believe that a man or that men, okay, I'm not generalizing, but statistics have shown that men are the greater cheaters. I know Dennis will disagree with me, but it's okay. That men are the greater cheaters, and it's quite absurd that he would leave all the good things that his family has brought to him for just that one moment of glory.
Glory?
And even just wasn't, of course I'm putting it in a very sarcastic way, because according to men, that moment is a glorious one. For us, surely, why would you have to put your children through that? I think very many times when we talk about cheating, we do not like to call a spade a spade. We mostly bring out cheating when it is like a certain age group, like, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, or maybe you're a teen, you're 20 or you're 30. But when it comes to cheating, like in a family setup, mother, father, those things are covered up. And how can you call out your father for cheating? How can you call out your mom for cheating? But why? It's high time we called out these people, and I'm glad that this was actually put on social media, because then it also shows the children, it also shows people out there how people should be held accountable for their lessons. And this is why we have big people who get out with the things that they do, and then when a young person commits an offense, they are quickly shouted at and put into position. So again, my sentiments towards that video one, I would say the children, the father should be proud. And I remember I told you, the father should definitely be proud for raising such open-minded, such thoughtful children. Because I think it was an absolutely beautiful thing that happened, to watch. Because I could see the children talking, and these are not just men, because if it were boys, it would be a different story. But these are girls. How many girls out there, how many young girls do you find out there that will call out their fathers? How many?
Barely, and especially in any African, context and culture. How dare you call out, your father?
How dare you call out the person? How dare you bite the hand that feeds you?
I have mixed sentiments when it comes to these videos, with so many reservations, I must say. But first of all, I mean, this is one of the examples of, the infidelity and cheating that is going on throughout the world, that happens every day. I think this man was very unfortunate that for him, his case was put out into the media. But there's so many of them out there. And that is the reason why we are seeing, people were victimizing him, and then, other men supporting him, saying, oh, well, if it was in the African setting, would never see this. How can you disrespect your father in their own house? So many things were being said. But for me, I will say one thing. I will commend the ladies, the little ladies, for, calling out this man on his behavior. Maybe this has impacted, their life in so many ways that maybe it has happened over and over again and went overboard, and they said, you know what, it's time that we actually call you out on your behavior, even if it's in front of our mother. And the other sentiments, my other reservations, I'll just put them out there. I feel like maybe sometimes as a family, you need to work out your issues within the family. Do not put it out there on social media. Maybe they could have done it, in their living room without having to record it. And then the other thing is, I had a problem with the language.
Oh yeah,
it was disrespectful. I will honestly point that out. I feel like there could have been a better way to address your father, even if he's in wrong. Do not use the cuss words. Do not use, the language was really disrespectful, I must say. I mean, yeah, but those are my sentiments.
Wait. We're talking about language being disrespectful, but it is not disrespectful that the man was called cheating.
No, I mean,
and the psychological torture that he had to put the wife through. I honestly think what they did for him was the bare minimum.
Absolutely.
Really?
It was fair enough.
They could have very
many times, yes.
These are my sentiments about this video, yes? Number one, I understood that the eldest daughter knew about this for almost 10 years. She knew what the father was doing. But I decided she mentioned it in the video that, you know what, I found out 10 years ago, and from me that time you stopped being my father. I was just looking at you as a bank.
As a finance.
And I feel like the lady who was recording, it was just a moment of, things were just thrown onto her. She had just found out in the moment, like, this is her family, this is what she grew up, around. She was proud of the father and the mom, and this news, like, broke her completely. So for me, when it comes to the cuss words that were using and the language that was deemed disrespectful by so many people, for me, I feel like that's the bare minimum. Like, I feel like it was a fair retaliation, honestly, because this gentleman decided to disrespect his family to begin with. 10 years. You're doing that, and even when you keep listening to the audio, you will hear the ladies talking about the fact that they had even gone to the extent of going for therapy. Yeah. How are you going for therapy and still stepping out? for me now, that's what confused me. And let me tell you, when I was shocked that people were, considering the man a victim, I just cannot believe it. And, they're all attacking the children, saying, this is unbelievable. How dare you speak to your father like that? But I would have to say that, sometimes respect is earned. And it doesn't matter if you're a parent, if you're not. We've seen children who grow up without their parents, or even the parents are available, they're there, but they don't respect them. So sometimes, if you don't respect yourself as a parent, you're bound to get that same disrespect from your immediate people that surround you. So let's talk about the causes of infidelity. Why do people engage in this behavior? Because, man, like when we talk about the emotional damage and what goes into cheating, basically, if you want to understand what we're talking about, our dear viewers, please head on to Twitter and just look for that video. You will understand the actual consequences of infidelity.
Okay, causes of cheating. We needed to take a moment. Causes of cheating. One, I would say, first of all, I don't think there is a cause. I think it's just humane for people to just be selfish. Because especially if you're not, I'm not justifying cheating in terms of boyfriend and girlfriend. It is one thing to cheat in marriage, and it's another thing to cheat as boyfriend and girlfriend. And again, still boyfriend and girlfriend, there are reservations and clauses in there that matter. But I would say, one, it's for selfish reasons. Because So that is what perturbs me. So why are you getting married in the first place? Why don't you just remain single so that we know that you're single and the cheaters are going to say a much worse word, but yes, you're for the streets. You're single.
You're for the streets.
Yes, and if you know that you're going to cheat on your partner, why do you have a partner in the first place? That is why are you cheating in the first place? But one, selfish reasons. Two, hormonal imbalance also sometimes.
I'm thinking
in men.
High libido.
High libido in men. Because 1 minute you're with your partner at home, like, how do you live? Because you know how cheating starts? And the funny thing, the disrespect, the thing about cheating is that it's so disrespectful. You leave your partner at home, you have lied that you've gone to work, you have lied that you've gone for a business trip, and you end up in a hotel room.
Sad.
Like, how sane can you be that you leave your family, you leave your 2-year-old, you leave your 6-year-old, you leave your 10-1-year-old in your home that you have built for them, your newborn baby, and then you walk out and go and cheat? Like, what kind of message are you sending out to the girls? That is why I was not shocked at that video, because in my head I'm wondering, and like you said, for the lady that was taking the video, it was her first time finding out. I don't think I would have any simpler reaction if I ever found out that was happening behind my back. Because I also want to put myself in my mom's situation. I also want to put myself in my dad's situation. If you found out that your partner was cheating, in short, you are living a lie. Absolutely. Like, your life has just come crumbling down. So the causes, being selfish, high libido, and just not having respect for your partner.
Yes, I'm not a cheat, so I'm not going to speak from experience, but I'm going to speak from, what I have heard, words on the street. I will say that some people say that they cheat or they have cheated because they have fallen out of love with their partners.
You can't separate.
Yeah, I was going to, because at the end of the day, and that's why I was also going to say on that particular video, sometimes you need to know when to leave these relationships. If it's happened over and over again, 10 years, you're talking about 10 years, what are you still doing in this relationship?
Because as an
what are you holding on
you're supposed to
stay for the children.
For the sake
Who
of the
says
children,
that?
For the sake of the family.
Now, you see in that family, they only had girls.
But then again, so for me, if you fall out in love with your partner, there's no reason why you should stay back and you're cheating on them. Some will say maybe we have children. You have children. But then again, the psychological effect on your children when, are having different kids on the other end. And remember, you are monogamous. You're not openly polygamous, or you're not in an open relationship.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is because some partners feel like their needs are not met by their partners. It could be emotional, it could be physical. Yes, let's not dispute the fact that some women out there, and maybe some men, but more particularly women, usually deny their married, if you're married, that is, their partner's sex, because maybe it's some kind of punishment, or usually it's punishment of, you've not done this for me, you've done that and that, so I will deny you. So some men, I'm not going to justify that you should do that, because there's an option of sitting on a table and say, how can we go forward from this so that you avoid the event of cheating? So but if you decide to do that, then that means you have made the decision to cheat. So yes, some people feel like their needs are not met, and others cheat out of boredom. That is the saddest part. Like, you're seated there, you feel like, oh, I think my sex life with my partner is boring. I need to find, better sex out there. I'll just say it the way it is and how people always term it. But it's a very sad reality, and I will make a comment that I saw on social media. One gentleman said, one thing that women should know is men are naturally polygamous. And if they provide everything and still come home to you, you have no reason to be worried, and you have no reason to be ranting about your cheating husband. That thing really, I don't know, I will say hurt me. And the most hurting bit is the fact that there were women in the comment section.
Agreed.
There's a certain celebrated journalist in this country, is a lady, who said women have failed to understand this. I don't know what women are up to. You're a woman out there and you are supporting this kind of behavior. And for me, it's just really sad.
Really sad.
Yeah.
I'm so sad that we have, very few minutes left, because we have about how many minutes? 9?
Yeah,
I wish
very
we had,
sad.
Like, more than that. Because I feel like we have so much to talk about.
Yes,
I feel like people who cheat are selfish, number one. Outrightly, you're being selfish, number one. Because you have an option. You could sit down and tell someone, you know what? This is not working for me. This and this and this is happening. I just don't think you're my person. Go out there and cheat in peace. Do your shenanigans in peace. Have sex with whoever you want to have sex with without dragging someone down your stupidity. Number 2, people who cheat have low self-confidence. You want the validation from so many partners, so many people who feel like, they're giving you that attention, like, I love you, like, that makes you feel good, but you can work on your confidence in, some other different ways than, participating in cheating and disrespecting your partner. I hate cheats, I'll put it out there. I have no sympathy whatsoever for any person who is a cheat. Zero sympathy. Tolerance. I have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to cheating.
No sugar policy.
So now the reasons why people cheat, some of them also include lack of affection, being emotionally unavailable, feeling lonely, or being neglected by your partner. There's also fear of intimacy, avoidance of conflict, seeking change or variety. Are you kidding me? What are you sampling? So you're sampling appetizers, when are you getting to your main course?
I don't know if I may, because you said we do not have enough time. There's a story I came across, and this particular young man was saying that in a period where he had cheated on his wife, his reasoning was that it makes married life exciting.
Dear Lord.
So his reasoning was that when he goes out to cheat, he'll come back excited and like
with more love
for the wife. And I'm like,
how does that happen?
What? But unfortunately, that is what is happening. Most men, actually, when I pick the thoughts of men on cheating, they'll tell you they do it because it keeps a married life going. Like, you're having this excitement here. That means you'll also be happy in your marriage. Like, really?
It's really, really annoying. But I wanted to actually pick your mind on something. People always talk about infidelity and all those things. I know I highlighted physical infidelity as well as emotional infidelity. Which one is the worst between the two?
There is nothing that's better than the other, and there's nothing that's worse than the other. I feel like it's all the same. Yep. And one thing will always definitely lead to another. The reason I say this is the fact that whenever you're in a talking stage with someone trying to get into a relationship, you're always, talking on an emotional level, saying all these sweet nothings. And that, your emotions keep growing for this person. And that leads into, the physical attraction, and that, you get like I said, one thing leads to another. Before you know it, you're going to get physical. There's no way you can avoid it unless you cut it off. And when you say physical, some people will say, I cheat physically, because they always justify the fact that men cheat physically and not emotionally. Unlike women, that for us, we cheat with our emotions. They say it's just a matter of having sex with someone and it's done with. But you never know. It could be 1, 2, 3 times, and before you know it, you're falling in love with them. We have seen those incidences happen all the time. You say, well, for me, I had no intentions of falling in love with this person. But whenever you get intimate with someone, physically intimate with someone, you should know that 90% chances are you will fall in love with them. So for me, I don't think there's anything that's better than the other. Cheating is bad, physically or emotionally. Absolutely zero.
Siobhan, I have a different question for you.
Yes. Okay.
Tell us about the effects of cheating. Number 1, on the person who has done it, the doer, and other third parties like children, and how does that affect them? Because we keep talking about infidelity like it just affects both just parents, but we have extra parties that also suffer the blows of men's selfishness.
Even before I answer that, also, can we call out the people who they are cheating with? you know a man is married. Why are you sleeping with a married man?
I disagree
Why are you sleeping?
on that.
No. Why are you sleeping with a married woman? By the way, we need to call a spade because if you do not want the same thing to be done to you in your family, why are you doing the same to another woman?
Else, yeah.
You're the reason
Someone
as
else's
to
feelings
why.
are involved.
Yes, you know. Also,
It's murky a bit.
exactly. I don't think I do not want to be caught in a situation where I'm the reason as to why probably Mrs. So-and-so is having sleepless nights because one girl, Shivan, cannot keep her appetite. Absolutely. I don't want to be that reason. No, I do not want to be that reason. But even talking about, because you talked about the effects, right? The effects, one, first of all, I've been through a situation where I've been cheated on.
Oh, no.
And I know how that
Sorry
feels.
about that.
So on me, psychologically, it made me feel like I wasn't good enough.
Oh, yeah.
It took me a lot of time to realize, and when a man comes up front and they tell me I love you and I want to spend time with you, I'm scared because the next question I want to ask is for how long?
Hey, are you
and
gonna
when you
stay?
get tired, can you let me know so that I'm not caught in the whole shenanigans of cheating? It's actually something to laugh with now, but back then when it happened, no one could tell me any different because I knew, why would this man cheat on me? That means I'm not good enough. I'm not beautiful enough. He's not proud of me. And all those are thoughts. It took such a long time for it to get out of my head. On the children, you are a cheater as a dad. You are a cheater as a mom. What example are you living for your boys? What example are you living for your girls? That is why you have girls who get into families and they are sleeping around, forgetting that their moms were doing the same thing. So what example are you setting for your children?
Period.
All in the name of what?
Yes,
Just
like
briefly,
30 seconds.
yes. Just to say something on what you
Yes,
said
yes.
earlier, I will say that the moment we try and put the blame on the other person who cheated with your partner, you are taking away the fact that you should hold your partner accountable.
Both of them should be held accountable.
Yes, but most importantly, I will give you a situation. If your man was cheating with another woman, who would you first confront?
Both of them.
Exactly, your man.
man.
It should be your man. You have
She owes me nothing.
Exactly, the other person owes you nothing. Your man owes you every explanation. Your loyalty, because the other party wasn't there when you were making those vows. So I think, yes, let's hold them all accountable. But most importantly, the person that you made that partnership with, that marriage with rather, that's the person that's accountable to you.
the blame
not
to that person.
the other person.
Totally
Both.
agree. Ladies, we are running out of time. I really had this because I wanted to ask, sometimes people forget that, infidelity can crush a person.
Yeah.
So as a Christian, at what point do you forgive?
You have asked.
Forgive and leave.
You forgive and leave and...
Don't forgive and stay.
As a Christian, how I would handle that, I would forgive, but I would don't. The aspect of forgive and forget. First of all, that thing of forgive and forget is nowhere in the Bible. The Bible just says forgive. So you forgive and move on. But the truth of the matter is, once a cheater, always a cheater. And if I find you in the streets and you ever cheated on me, trust me, we have nothing to discuss unless there is a child involved.
Yeah, I think we've all agreed that
we need that
when it comes to infidelity, there has to be a time when you have to walk away. So as we wrap up the show, I'm going to leave you with the common signs that you should look out for in case you're in a relationship, and that it's time for you to walk away after an infidelity. Number one, if your partner engages in any sort of selfishness by sleeping with someone else and they do not apologize, it's about time that you packed your bags and left. Because even if a person doesn't think cheating is such a grave relationship sin, they should be able to cater to your emotions and see how you feel and care enough to make sure that you're not feeling so low. So if a person cheats on you, doesn't apologize, it's about time that you left. Number two, your spouse doesn't want to get counseling. Oh yes, we know how men always front this excuse of I can't talk about my emotions. What do you mean you can't talk about your emotions? If someone tells you that, because I feel like if someone wants something to work, especially their relationship, they would put in the work, they would do everything to make sure that particular relationship works. So if your spouse doesn't want to get any sort of counseling, it's about time that you left. Number three, your partner doesn't show desire to put in the work. Yes, maybe they agreed to attend, therapy with you, or they agreed to change their cheating behaviors, but they still do the same thing over and over and over again. You're not their person. It's about time you left. Number four, they are still in touch with the person they cheated on you with. Oh my God. Imagine a partner owning up to an affair and insists it's over, but then they are still talking to the other person. Or even admits to an affair, doesn't apologize, and still talks to the other person.
That's why you should always leave.
Please leave.
Yeah.
Please leave if your partner is still in touch with the person that they cheated on you with. Yeah. Number five, your partner doesn't seem committed to the relationship. Since their cheating came to light, maybe they've been responsive to all of your suggestions on how to repair the marriage, but they haven't come up with their own ideas of how they can fix their damn selves. Moving on, number six, they lie all the time. Yes, we know it's not cliche that, every time you talk to a cheating person, whether a woman or a man, they always come up with the lies. They know how to make those lies on spot, there and then. They'll come up with a lie. Number 7, the cheater won't take responsibility and instead blame others.
They'll say you've not been taking care of me.
Some of these men, they claim that, you know, they're too handsome. The girls throw themselves at them. The girls are desperate, so they have nothing to do. So if you don't even have self-control, that's...
If a man ever gave me that excuse that that's why they are cheating, that is not a man I would stay with.
Absolutely.
How can you be so
inhumane?
Not even just inhumane, stupid. How can you say it's because you look so good that people are throwing themselves at you? You cannot control yourself.
That also makes you have even you, that makes you a cheap person, because the mere fact that people are throwing themselves at you, that means even you're welcoming them. Yeah, because if you tell someone once, twice, they will not come back. But the mere fact that you're welcoming this particular chick or this particular girl makes you a cheap person as well, because what are you doing?
Yeah. So now we're out of time, ladies, but I have to put it out there, yes? I have to put it out there that cheating is actually a choice. When people cheat, you should never feel some type of way as the person that has been cheated on, because that's entirely up to them. That's their problem. That's their situation. They need to handle it on their own, you know, without putting it into the mix. So if you've ever been cheated on, it's not your problem. It is someone else's problem, and you need to leave them exactly where they are. They belong to the streets. My name is Privily Baz. This is Sunrise at Sea. Don't blink.
And just like that, the conversation on our views on the Twitter jabs, right from when we started from 7 a.m. up until now, it's 1 minute past the hour of 9. It has been an amazing week. Today we have had amazing conversations as we get into the weekend. Cheater, pants on fire. Please, if you get caught, we shall definitely disown you. But also we had an interesting conversation in regard to nurturing a child's talent. Again, I call upon all parents, guardians, teachers, wherever you are, it's very important. Take initiative, be involved in your child's life, because that is the only way you'll be able to discover their talent. As for cheaters, like Priva said, cheating is a choice, and for me, I do not have kind words for cheaters, honestly, as well, and I do not have anything to say to them. Well, from the ladies and I, of course, we've had an amazing show with Priva Elibaz, Agi Uwase. See you next week, same time, same place. This is Sunrise at Sea. Good morning.